I'm coming. Hold your horses, chat. My thoughts because it's Friday. What's up, PC Pete, Xenos, U2 Nosy, Leo, Metal B, Junior, Smug Grinch? How y'all doing? I need to do the go live. All right. I don't know why. I pulled up my alarm clock for some reason. I need Discord. I need some Discord in my life. All right. Live stream. Yeah, for those of you guys who didn't know, by the way, we did, we kind of fixed our Discord in a way. We made it to where our YouTube videos, live streams, and announcements are all separate tabs now. And you actually have to opt into them. So you go under, like, I think it's under the welcome or announcement tab, one of those two, and you actually emote to what notifications you would like to get. We kind of did that to help eliminate some of the spam that you guys may be feeling, you know, because we definitely do a lot of ads every day. Oh, stream notifications, duh. Hello? There it is. We're live building a PC for PCBros. Woohoo! All right. But yeah. So we got get a nice budget king here today. If you guys notice, I put Ryzen 5 because it is a 4500. I was just worried that that wasn't what I bought, and I did not want to be wrong. I didn't want to have to fix the title later on, you know? Thank you, once upon. Yeah, this build, it'll be a pretty cheap one. It's going to be $550 at PCBros. Features a 4500, a 580 OC Plus model. It's 8 gigs. An ASRock B550M, a 1 terabyte NVMe SSD, 16 gigs of Vulkan Z at CL16 3200, a Corsair CX550M semi-modular. We're going to be cooling the 4500 now with the stock cooler, but with the ID Cooling SC214 XT. And then we're putting some Asia Horse fans in it. We're using a V-Tray RGB hub, some fan splitters, and this is the Cooler Master Elite 301 Lite. So, you know, a little bit pricey for a RX 580 build, but it's a pretty nice 580 build. Has a decent upgrade path too. Funny enough, this is my old power supply right here, guys. So for those of y'all who didn't know, obviously we have PCs at home, and I was running this CX550M with a 9800 X3D and an RTX 4070. And let me tell you, this thing is a workhorse. Never had a single issue out of it. Semi-modular, which it already has all the cables you need on it. So it's ready for a new life. Everything else in the build, though, besides the 580 is brand new. And this one's just going to come with a 30-day parts and labor, mainly because of a used 580 and you know, power supply. But I fully trust this stuff going in this build, I'll tell you. What's up, Xavier? Ryzen S. What is that? Is that the Ryzen is? is this Ryzen? Is that what it is? Is this Ryzen? Sorry, I'm not very good on Spanish or any other language besides English, for that matter. So the power supply I went to, I guess a lot of you guys don't even know this. I ended up going to, because it was sent to us, in all honesty, I would have not upgraded it if it wasn't sent to us. But the Asus ROG 1000 watt. I don't think it's like a specific, I don't think it's not a Thor, it's not a, what's the other one? Is it the Asus, is it a Loki? It's just like their base, like ROG model. It's still really nice, 80 plus gold, fully modular, ATX 3.0, and like I said, it's 1000 watts. So it is a lot more than I really will probably ever need, but you know what, it was time, and honestly, I think we kind of needed to use it in a video, and we're already doing a video where we upgraded our rigs at home with the 9070s, or like, not upgraded, but we're trying them. So I was like, well, this would be a good chance to go ahead and just use this power supply. Tool, happy Friday. And not to mention, you know, I have some standards. Like I kind of wanted to eventually go to like a higher end card, like a, you know, maybe like a 5070 Ti or a 5080. And because of that, I was like, yeah, I think if I go with anything 5070 Ti or better, I was like, I really need more watts. The 4070 wasn't too bad because it was literally a single 8-pin. And my 9800 X3D, like, yeah, they pull some power, but like, it's not as insane as you guys would think. So Brahming, the 580, it's funny as we actually looked this up the other day. I think the last driver update was at the end of last year. So it's not that it's like not supported. You can still use it in pretty much any game. It's just probably not going to be getting future updates. So that just means that, you know, maybe certain security updates, and then like as new games come out, yes, the 580 will become less and less usable, but I still think it's going to be a pretty valid card for at least the next few years. For like a 1080p esports, real basic settings. Obviously, I don't mean it's going to be valid in AAAs and stuff for the next few years. So Windows 10 in October, well, you can use the 580 on Windows 11 just fine. And you can, like I said, you can still get drivers for it. Like you can actually get the drivers straight through AMD. They're just not releasing like new drivers constantly. Like I said, I think the newest was at the end of 2024. They may still release, you know, a couple. They're just probably going to do them really slow if they do. Thank you, Snark. So my this early birthday. My birthday's actually tomorrow. As long as today's the 21st. Yes, my birthday's the 22nd, so it's tomorrow. All right, I'm going to grab Mr. Blowymatron. By the way, guys, shout out. We've actually had a couple people buy the PCBros cleaning kits. They're pretty cool. I'll actually show you guys one of the things that comes in the kit. One of the things that I'm pretty proud of. And David at PCBros did a wonderful job making the labels for these. Let's see if it'll focus. So this is our glass cleaner, which, by the way, dude, amazing freaking spray pattern. I know it's like the most goofiest thing to brag about, but just check this out, guys. Let me get to focus. Oh, I mean, look at that. That is a nice spray pattern. It's really good for electronics, though. So I actually did a full video about the kits, and one of the kits, we call it the master kit, comes with one of these. It's not as broken as this one, but same concept. It's a little bit smaller, has bristles on the end, multiple different attachments. You can actually use it. The ones that we include the kits, funny enough, you can use them to actually blow up things like rafts, mattresses, whatever. That comes with like a bunch of different tips and nozzles, but we love these things. They work amazing, and both kits come with this cleaner, which is ammonia free. And I show you guys in the video, you can use this stuff to clean like almost anything. I've used this to clean my mouse pads. I've used it to clean keyboards, mice, laptops, screens, the actual PC itself. It's some really good stuff. So, and we make it in house, so it's even cooler. But yeah, so yeah, if anyone's ever looking for like a good cleaning kit, we sell them online and locally. The master cleaning kit's a little expensive, mainly because it's on our website, PCBros.tech. If you go to peripherals and services, I will say the master kit's expensive mainly because of the Blowymatron, as we call it. I think that one's like $65. But to be fair, more than half of that is you're getting a USB Type-C rechargeable blower that is basically unlimited air, and it is powerful. It works amazing. It's so much better than canned air, like 10 times better than canned air. And having the bristles to agitate dust and whatnot make it to where you almost don't even need to wipe stuff down anymore. So it's pretty great that it comes with that. It also comes with like friggin' what is it, 4 or 6 microfiber, some rubbing alcohol. Hold on, guys, I'm gonna blow this card off real quick. She's a little dusty. Putting the cleaning kits to action today, chat. All right, GPU nice and clean. Yep, no Madigan today. I guess more game stuff, I'm guessing. UK's making it. Oh, the blowers are way better than canned air. Studies show, that's actually pretty funny. People who have more birthdays live longer. That's crazy. Let me give this a quick blow too. It actually looks pretty good, honestly, but. Yeah, those kits are cool. They come with all the stuff that that Matt and I would normally use like day to day for doing like our flips and also PCBros even. You know, what we use to clean and stuff like that. There's actually a little bit of gunk on the power supply, so I'm gonna use some of our spray. Built your son a cheap starter PC with a 3500X and a 580. Nice. Yeah, the 580 is just such a long-running legendary card. I know for the person Brahming was just asking about the 580. I'm assuming it's working pretty good for your son. But yeah, the 580 is definitely, like I said, still going to be a relevant budget option for, I think, at least the next like 2 to 3 years, I'd say. And like I said, that's just me being generous, or sorry, me being conservative, really. Like, I don't want to overquote and say, like, oh, it's going to be great for, I mean, because I can see you still being able to use that card in a few years from now. I don't know that, you know what I mean? And the last thing I want is to say that, and then someone clips this, and, you know, a year from now, it's, like, unusable. And then I'm like, oh. I have no clue to do with the cap, so I'm just going to put this over here. All right, everything clean. Doing your first build at 5700 to 1660. That's a really good build too. I will say if you can just bump up a little bit in budget for someone looking at like this build here, for example, like with the 580, you can definitely still, you can get a pretty solid build out of the 1660. It's a decent amount better than a 580. And you know, as of right now, the GTX cards, like the 16 series, I think that those are still going to have driver support for at least another year. Unless NVIDIA just tries to be rude. You're running a 6800 and a 5700X playing 3440 by 1440. Do you think I should upgrade? Are you having lag or issues? I mean, that's really the biggest thing. We never really tell anyone that you should upgrade unless you're, you know, having problems. He got gifted the 1660, but he's going to upgrade a little bit when he gets the chance. Yeah, no, and it's a solid build to upgrade. You know, it's got the 5700X, so it can definitely handle, you know, a much better GPU, honestly. With the 5700X, I would say you could probably go upwards of, if you want like the newest, latest, and greatest, I would say 5070 would probably be a pretty good ceiling for the 5700X before you start to get like some decent, you know, feeling bottlenecks. And then for AMD side of the thing, you know, 9070, maybe even 9070 XT. You just want ARC because it didn't have any transcode restrictions like NVIDIA does for Plex. Yeah, depending on what size you need. Like, I know if you need low profile, you know, you get like the what is it? The A310 and the B. Is that right? Is it B310, A310? I'm like having a brain fart. I think it's the B310 and the B360, B350. Wow, I'm like completely forgetting. I honestly, because of the B570. I'm like forgetting. Okay, they're both A. Yeah, A310 and A380. My God. I feel like it's just been so long since I've used those cards. The thing is, now that the like the B series are out, it just makes those A series like not very attractive, just because they just had so many like small quirks, you know, in certain games. B770 went. That would be pretty cool. I'm thinking that they might do it. I could see it coming. All right, so I guess I'm going to do these fans up front. I think that'd probably look the best here. You're on the AM4 platform. What do you upgrade from the 3060 Ti and 5600? Honestly, you got a really balanced build right now. So if you're going to upgrade, you almost just probably want to do both at the same time. So maybe like a 5700X or better, you know, 5800X, I bought a 5800, is it the 5800 GT? No, not GT, XT, 5800 XT. I got that for like 150 the other day, and it's, from what I can see, I think it's just ever so slightly better than 5800X. And it's funny because it's actually cheaper on Amazon, so I was happy. Doo-doo-doo. I got these kind of look like they're uni fans, but they're not. is the RX 580 the most common GPU for budget builds? See a ton in our videos. So to be fair, you're probably seeing in a lot of our older videos because we really don't use the 580 much at all anymore. So how the phase went was, 580 came out and I don't even know what year, 2016 maybe, somewhere around there, maybe a little before that. And then we used it a lot. We really liked the 4 gig model because it was a lot cheaper than the 8 gig. And then, that card became, it got down to about $100 only after a couple years of being out. It was consistently like 100 to 120 on eBay. So it was an awesome card because it actually was one of the first cards that was like entry-level 1440p ready without spinning like an arm and a leg. And so, yeah, we used it a ton. And then we kind of stopped using it because other cards, started to come out that were, pretty good for the price. But we'd always still come back to it. And then eventually we just like completely stopped using it because COVID happened. That card got really expensive. And honestly, at that point, it was, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old. And then you had the, the RX 580 2048 come out, which is basically the, if we're being honest, just overseas kind of fakey graphics card. It basically is kind of like recycled chipset to our knowledge, where it'll be like a 570 that they reuse the chipset on and give it 8 gigs of VRAM. And I guess they ever so slightly tweak some settings because really a 2048 RX 580 is basically an 8 gig 570. It's not as good as a real 580. So you probably saw us use those for a while. And then honestly, we just had so many of those where like, we would build a PC with it, we'd sell it to PCBros, it would come back like, because the card died. So we just found that those cards were not very reliable. And honestly, like we were paying anywhere from $60 to like $90 for the 580 2048. So pretty quickly we started to realize like, okay, maybe the value is not that great on these cards. Not terrible by any means. And if you get a good card that lasts a long time, then, good on you. You got like a $70 graphics card that can still do a good amount of stuff. But like I said, we were starting to see that happen not as often as we wanted, where the card would just die randomly or whatever. And it made more like a 570 and like honestly kind of false advertised. It kind of got annoying to use. Where'd my music go? I think it might have got stolen. I'll run Bluetooth. How about that? Oh, I'm connecting to my truck. What? It gets so awkward when it's quiet in here, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to judge you all right now, but it's just quiet. That's all I can think about. I'm just kidding. A lot of pre-builds you guys did for the 580 2048 and it too. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like pre-builds, yes. We literally just did one the other day. And our biggest complaint with those is most of these pre-build companies do not disclose that it's a 2048. They always just say RX 580 8 gig. And we're like, dude, this is not the same as a 580. Like I would take a 580 8 gig any day over a 2048 because the 2048s, like I said, they're basically not. I don't know the full story. Maybe someone in chat can tell you guys, but to my knowledge, they are used chipsets that they put onto like new, and they're very generic boards. They don't have very good cooling solutions typically. I don't know if they have the best like power control, the best VRMs. I think it's made with very cheap parts. And like I said, it performs worse than a 580. Is this Bluetooth going to connect? What's happening here? Maybe I'm trying to connect to the wrong thing. I think this is it. Let's see.
Power off.
Oh.
Power on.
Power on.
Bluetooth.
Bluetooth. Come on, baby.
Connected.
There she is. Let's see what non-copyright we have on the table today. So your B-Day is tomorrow. How do you, what is that? Oh my gosh, this is a deep question. B-Day tomorrow, how do you view your time on Earth up until this point? Are you generally satisfied with your path to this point? Thought about this when you turned 49 on the 25th of February, just wondering. Well, happy late birthday, Chaotic. But yeah, I would say I feel pretty good. The last few months have been pretty rough for me because of my, I know a lot, I've told a lot of you guys, like it's not private to me, but the reason, like I've been late to some streams or like haven't been here some mornings, because you guys know I'm normally like, I really like working here, obviously. I love work in general. So I like to be here as much as I can. I don't like taking time off. But I've kind of dealt with some weird health issue where it's basically like, it's really hard to describe, but it's like a constant lightheadedness that I've dealt with for about 5 months now, maybe a little over 5 months. And some days it's a lot worse than others. Like there's some days where I'm like, it feels like if I get out of bed, I'm just gonna like pass out. And I'm also very fatigued as well. Whenever it's at its worst point, I'm very fatigued, and the only thing that feels good is just like sitting at my desk playing games or like, watching. I did have a CT scan. That's the weird part is I've been to the doctors. It's weird because from what I know, vertigo, it is very much like an iron deficiency. Yes, I would say I have the symptoms more like I'm anemic, but I wasn't. When I went to the doctor and I got a full blood panel done, as well as like thyroid check and stuff like that, everything looked pretty good. No, and I appreciate your guys' suggestions and stuff. Yeah, I need to eat meat. No, and that's the thing. I've been vegetarian for 5 years. I felt great the last 5 years. It's just out of nowhere. It was in November. Like I can still almost remember the days that happened. I was just streaming one morning. Felt great. Felt normal. By the way, I'm a big morning person. I love morning. I love going to bed. Nosy, I would say, I don't know if dizzy's the word. Yeah, it's a little bit like dizzy, but it's also like lightheaded, where it feels like sometimes I'm like close to passing out, if that makes sense. Start smoking weed, that'll help. All right, man. Why is the music not playing, dude? What is going on with this crap? Unable to complete your request. How? Android shit, I'll tell you what. Yeah, brain blue screaming. Screening. All right, let's get a non-copyright. Let's find some Haley Hella. Here's Hella, there he is. Let's do, let's see. Do like a whole album. Top releases, 30 songs. Let's hear it. So what is I understand when you stand suddenly from a sleep, you feel like you're getting dragged to the ground. Sometimes, yeah, I will say I get a lot of like the heavy head feeling where I notice it when I'm looking at my phone where I'm kind of hitting this, and it feels like I have to use a lot of energy and effort just to get like my head back up too. So what is you had severe anxiety from the amount of times you thought you were going to pass out, but you never did. Yeah, no, and I've definitely gotten some like I have not enjoyed really like going out nearly as much. And it's not because I'm like, I don't know how to put it. It's not like I'm anxious about like being out. I guess it is. Like it's like basically like I'm just like worried that I'm gonna like get a lot worse when I go out, if that makes sense. Because that has happened. I will say like there's at first I treated it like it was nothing and I tried to just push through it, but then I got like I felt horrible, like to the point that that's when I went to the ER and they did like a CT scan of like I think it was my chest and head. They did a chest X-ray. They did EKG. And they did like the full blood panel. And like I said, they just couldn't really find anything wrong. So they just basically, they gave me meclizine, which is kind of like Dramamine, and then they sent me home. And from what I remember, I thought the doctor told me if it was vertigo, meclizine should help. It like didn't. It almost made me feel worse. So that's the reason why I'm like, I really don't think it's vertigo. But I've never really had, at least I don't think I've had vertigo, so I don't know. I just know that the medicine that they said should make me feel better did not make me feel better. And also, I feel like I don't think the vertigo is supposed to make you feel like that for like 5 months straight. I should be put in a bubble. That is a great idea. I like that. Like a little hamster ball, so nothing can hurt me. Yeah, that's kind of, I've heard that, like inner ear problem, dehydration. I don't think it's dehydration. I've been drinking... I'm like one of those people like growing up. I could drink no water all day and I'd be like totally fine. I will say recently in the last 5 months, I'm usually downing like 3 of these a day of raw water. I'm talking raw. Now, from what I've seen, Solomatic, because I've talked to people, I've been on forums. I really don't think it's vertigo. I almost feel like I wish it was. Because at least with vertigo, I've heard that like, different positions should make you feel different. With mine, it's kind of like, I will say it's worse when I'm standing. I can definitely tell you guys that much. Like when I'm just standing or I'm walking, like if I'm moving, it's typically worse. When I'm laying down or sitting, it's usually not nearly as bad. I will be doing a hearing test, funny enough, chaotic. I have a specialist appointment where I'm supposed to go through like a 2.5 hour thing where they're going to check my balance, my hearing, all that stuff, because I think they're looking for vertigo. I don't think that's what they're going to find, but I'm like, at this point, I'm like I said, I'm like 5.5 months into this. And this is coming from a person who's like never sick. I don't know about the heart monitor. I have not gotten a phone call. I don't know. I don't know if I should call them or what. Well, and that's what I'm saying. So like the seasickness pills, which I think should be like meclizine or like Dramamine, for example. I tried like 2 or 3 times and I just felt worse. Like those made me feel, at that point I just felt tired and more out of control and lightheaded / dizzy. So now that's the other thing. I don't sleep well either. I've slept worse since all this has been happening by like a decent amount. So that's just weird too. Hyperthyroidism was definitely a theory, but like, I mean, the one time that I had the blood panel done, it was fine. I did have the COVID vaccines, yes. I haven't had one recently though. I haven't had any, like that's the thing is, it's weird because it's like, I haven't had anything done recently. The only thing like that I can even think of that's been like eventful was in November, right before all this happened, I did go to Gatlinburg. I mean, I was around a lot of people, but like I didn't think that I got sick or anything. I did definitely have some anxiety trips there because I hate heights, and we ended up doing like a bunch of mountain crap. But it wasn't like, I mean, there were times where, you know, I'm like holding onto the guardrails and stuff, but I was like, I don't think I was more anxious than I've been before that. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think the AAA has anything to do with it. I know at first I thought maybe I could have an inner ear infection because I was in a hot tub, and I did go fully under multiple times. I was being goofy, and I kept diving into the hot tub, you know? So at first I was like, yeah, maybe there's something wrong with my, like I had like an inner ear infection, but I don't think those are supposed to last 5 months. I don't think. Is my coordination worse? Not really. I will say we're like, so standing right now, like I have to build this PC kind of slow, especially while I'm talking. Basically, it's like the more energy I'm using to talk while doing things, it definitely makes it like a little bit more difficult. But no, I don't feel like my coordination's much worse, if at all. Where's fan screws at? What is that? Meniere's syndrome? Never heard of that one. Got a gaming laptop for your son, or it's on the market. $600 on Amazon. HP Victus, one for high refresh rate screen, 12450H 3050. I think for $600 that sounds pretty decent. Yeah, I would say that's a decent deal. It's not like crazy. Like it's not like I don't see that and think like, oh my gosh, so you need to get that now. But yeah, it could be brain rot from Fortnite. Yeah. You read for 2 months after your training incident? Dang. Well, and that was the other thing. I think the doctors were really looking for that. They were like, maybe, you know, did you have like a seizure? Did you have, no vision issues really. I mean, I don't see super great anyways, but no, I haven't had any like, you know, migraines, blackouts, like anything like that. Meniere's is like tinnitus, but you get vertigo too. I think I have it. Because like once you get really lightheaded and dizzy, you usually throw up, but you always forget to ask your doctor about it. My gosh. Huh. Yeah, we do office checks. We do office prostate exams. Meniere's syndrome is a systematic inner ear disorder. Yeah, well, and that's like I said, it's just weird because it's like it felt like it just happened out of nowhere, and it just hasn't gone away. I don't know. But also on the flip side, it's like it hasn't gotten worse. That's what's the weirdest about it, is like the fatigue and like the lightheadedness haven't really gotten any worse. It's just kind of like I'll have like a couple weeks where I feel horrible, and then I'll have like a couple days where I'll start to, it almost feels like you're getting over a sickness. You know what I mean? Like for example, today, yesterday, and the day before, I felt a little better each day. But then I wouldn't be surprised if like tomorrow or like the next day, I just randomly feel horrible again, and then I'm gonna be another like 2 or 3 weeks of just like barely feeling like I'm functioning. You know what I mean? All right, so we only got 1 pack of fan. Yeah, 1 pack of fan series. Okay, that's okay. Do you wear a smartwatch? Do you wear it overnight to monitor O2 levels? See if something's going on there. I could try that. I don't know if mine monitors. No, and that's the thing, you two nosy. I'm in a weird spot where, like, because I've been so, like, I don't know if, I mean, I guess I call it healthy. Like, I've never had issues before. I, like, didn't even have a primary care. So because of that, I'm really struggling to, every doctor I see just instantly, like I've been to 3 now, basically. And because they're different each time, they're always checking for, like, the same thing. They're like, oh, you got vertigo or something, right? It's just, it's temporary, blah, blah. So yeah, I'm in process of, like, I think, what is it, April, at the end of April, I have like a primary care that I actually want to go to. So that will definitely help. Like I'll be able to kind of get established, and I think I'll be able to get referrals a lot easier through her. And then, like I said, I have that one test. That's not until like freaking June though, where that's the one that's going to be like a hearing and balance and like vision test basically. And then I wouldn't call 5 months temporary either. And then what else do I have? Oh, that, like I said, I did get a referral for doing a heart rate monitor, and they want me to do it for like 14 days. Although I haven't heard anything from that, so I don't know what's going on there. But you should keep a. Yeah, I've had a couple people tell me that, keep a food diary to see if there's anything. Yeah, I definitely want to do that. It's weird because I mean, I guess I know as you get older, like maybe some things can be more triggering. I've just been like my whole life, like not allergic to anything. I can have like, I mean, and I've been really like, it's funny because the last couple of years I've been like healthier. Like with going to the gym, I was going 3 to 4 times a week, getting pretty good workouts in, and being vegetarian. I obviously I don't eat super unhealthy. Like I'm not eating tons of like fried foods. I'm getting plenty of fruits and vegetables and nuts and lentils and all that good stuff. Yeah, I get a really good amount of hydration. I will say, when this first happened, I didn't have like a single energy drink for like a whole month, thinking that was part of it. It didn't help. So it is my aquarium, yes. But like I said, I am drinking like 2 to 3 jugs of water a day. And I think this is, what do you guys think this is? Like a 64 ounce? Does that feel about right? You think it's like 64 ounces of water? After 25, yeah. No, that is kind of funny. I feel like, well, it's funny. It's not funny, but yeah, we were making that joke with Jonah because he's 23, and you know, we're like, oh, dude, just give it a couple years, and you know, it's like you just start falling apart. So who is that? Is that the tennis player? Is she? Okay, so Peterson has humanoid arthritis, struggled for years before cutting everything out. Is that out of diet and eating a single thing, trying to figure out what she was allergic to, almost every green. So, oh, she was allergic to almost every green. That's interesting. Huh. I mean, hey, if I developed some sudden allergicness to it, I guess. John would be okay to swap out the pink bows. All right. I'll tell him that when he gets here. With his nice little curly hair. Heck, you're on 37, 17 pills a day and have sleep apnea? Oh my gosh, sorry. Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, you know, I'm turning 27, and like I said, I had like that like invincible feeling for the longest time, because like, I mean, the only medicine I've ever even taken my whole life is a men's multivitamin, you know what I mean? I mean, I've never had problems with sleeping, so I've never had to take like melatonin or anything, never had to take any type of like sleeping aid. I've always been really good about, no matter when I go to sleep, I can always get like a good, like, you know, 7.5 hours. Yeah, and normally whenever I did have any health problems, I could just, like Computer Guy made the joke / seriousness, I could just ignore it and it would just go away. Jonah does, he makes himself an easy target, sadly. He's what I like to call reactive, you know what I mean? Do you take an iron tablet? So I don't. I do eat and drink a good amount of stuff that has iron, so I don't think that I'm iron deficient. And from what I said, that blood test I did, and I've been experiencing this for about 2.5 weeks. Like, and that's when it got really bad. So I don't think anything's changed since then, but all my levels were normal. Like my iron looked fine. At least I think they tested for iron, I think. But I know all my thyroid stuff looked good. The only thing that was like, I think ever so slightly off is like my white blood cell count was like a little bit up. It wasn't like way off the charts. Like the doctors were like, weren't even worried. They did okay. What is that one tool? Do you know what that one's called? Like on the test, like what do they call it when they look for iron? And is there more than one, or is it just one test? You haven't bothered going to the doctors in about 12 years? Well, that's kind of where I was, computer guy. I hadn't been in like, besides one time I went for strep throat. I would just go to urgent care. I didn't have a regular. I just went to urgent care. You know what I mean? I'm trying to stay healthy, chaotic. Oh my God, we're gonna make Jonah's lipstick list. Oh, hemoglobin, is that what it is? Okay. You're 38 and don't have a primary care? Oh my goodness. Well, hey, I guess that's a good and a bad thing. I'm assuming that you're pretty healthy then, right? Yeah, I'm hoping I outlive. The moment you turn 30, you start having health issues. Oh, guys, that's how it goes. Could be sinus with weather changing since it's been a few weeks. I guess. I don't know. Like I said, it's just so odd and bizarre to me because 27 years in this earth, I've never had allergies, like seasonal or just in general. Like I've never had allergic reactions to like anything. And yeah, it's a hard feeling to describe, like I said, because I don't really want to describe it as it's like a mixture of dizziness and lightheadedness. And I haven't actually passed out, which is good. If I get to that point, that's probably where it's like, maybe there's really a problem. And for a little bit, I had the more I talk about, the more anxiety. I'm sorry. For a little bit, one of my theories that I thought was really good, but the one doctor I went and saw said she didn't think so, which I don't know why she didn't think so. But I don't know if any of you all have ever heard of POTS, which is basically like it can get triggered from being like having an illness. It can be chronic, but it can also be temporary. And it's basically where like your non-voluntary function, so like heart rate, blood pressure, some of the other stuff like that, is basically like not working properly. So it causes like like blood pooling, for example, where like when you stand up and your gravity is supposed to tell your blood pressure to send more blood to your brain and stuff. It basically just like doesn't do that like it should. And the doctor was just like, no, I don't think that's what it is. I was like, huh, okay. I was like, because I don't know. I mean, I had a few people tell me that they thought it kind of sounded like it could be that. Like that, or like there was another one called, which is a part of POTS. It's like dysautonomia or something like that, dysautonomia. Wake up, do some basic stretches, 25 push-ups, hold plank for 1 minute every morning before food. See, well, and that's the thing is like I've had trouble like I want to work out. Like I want to go to the gym again. I used to go 3 to 4 times a week consistently. But then once this started happening, I still kept going for a little bit until I realized the gym would make me feel worse. So it only happens during autoerotic asphyxiation. I don't think I'm saying that, but maybe that's what I'm getting at. I'm not sure. I ain't that much of a freak. R.I.P. David. What? Lyme disease was another one that I've heard a couple people say. But and yes, I do have a lot of woods where I live. So yes, I definitely have had some run-ins with ticks. I don't know if I remember having any on me last year. I may have. But guys, that involves blood work. Oh, David, what is that? Carradine died? Was he an actor or what was he? Spent 46 years enjoying dairy, turned 47, and my body said, have fun digesting this. Changes happen quick. Yeah, that's true. That is very true. It is so weird how that works, isn't it? You're like, one day you're fine with something, the next day your body's just like, yeah, I'm not really feeling this anymore. And you're just like, okay. I wish I had a choice in that. Yeah, well, to be fair, I guess nobody probably likes needles, huh? Besides, like, tattoos. I don't think anybody loves getting blood drawn. I will say I am like extra bad. I'm sure there's people that are even worse than me, but I do get fainty when I have blood drawn. So, and I definitely get a lot of anxiety going to do it. But I will say definitely gotten to the point with this where, like, I mean, hey, I made the doctor's appointment the other day. They didn't end up drawing blood, but I was prepared because I was like, wow, I think going through the maybe passing out and anxiety would be better than this. You had to give yourself a shot weekly. Is that for, what is that for? To have to do like diabetes or something? You have full sleeves with hate needles. Isn't that weird how that works? Yeah, because I mean, you guys know I have multiple tattoos. I will say I am a baby when it comes to getting them. Like, I don't like pain. But yeah, I can definitely do a tattoo easier than I can blood drawn. Your wife is a med tech, hates drawing blood? Oh, I bet. I don't think, I mean, like I said, I'm sure even the people that do it don't love even drawing it. When you got your first vaccine shot, you spazzed out, and when your arm spazzed out, oh my gosh. Well, that's what's weird is like, I feel like I can get shots fine. I know it sounds weird, but like, I can go and get like if you told me I had to get a vaccine right now, I'd be like, okay, like someone come in here right now and give me a booster shot, like in my arm, leg, whatever. I think there's just something about the act of like, you know, drawing blood that just freaks me out. I definitely think it's a head thing, you know, like it's in my head, you know. Veins roll so much when you get blood drawn, it's pain. I think I have very average veins. You know, I got that going for me. Luckily, I'm pretty skinny, so I don't usually have to worry about like I haven't been where they had to like spend a lot of time finding a vein or anything. These fans actually don't look too bad. Check it out, chat. Do you eat any meat? I don't. I've been vegetarian for like 5 years. But I'm not a picky vegetarian. I'm not vegan either. So I still eat eggs, cheese. Yeah, I guess that's it. Eggs, cheese, dairy. It's mainly just, basically just actual meat I don't eat. Blood draws don't affect you anymore. Well, nice, Kermit. I'm glad that you, oh yeah, I think the looking away part's normal. I mean, who would want to watch it? You know what I mean? It's 45 minutes in Jackson. Oh my God, is it? Oh yeah, it's 9:43. Holy crap, I haven't even built the board yet. Chat, you guys are so distracting. I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I definitely, the idea of donating blood, I don't think I could, yeah. Yeah, I definitely couldn't do that. But hey, props to the people who do. It's a very important thing. Salute to you guys. Yes, I do take a daily vitamin, Jason. I just do like the basic, you know, men's multivitamin. Has a lot of what seems to be good stuff in it. And I will say I did try. That was another theory I had. Just because, like I said, my whole life I've never had to take supplements. I did try cutting the vitamins out. Didn't seem to help. So I've just been taking them again. Plus, I had multiple doctors tell me, like, oh, no, there's no way it's, you know, the vitamins aren't going to blah, blah, blah. Some AG1, like some good AG1 supplements. I used to watch Neil going all the time for blood donations, but it made the phlebotomist nervous. Oh, my gosh. That's funny. Oh, we get no front cam today. Your wife is similar vegetarian after watching yeah, those documentaries, those will change you. Well, some people. Yeah, that's kind of why I do it. I didn't really do it for like health. I do it a little bit for health, you know, because I think it's nice. Like, I am a eater. Like, I eat a lot of food. So in all honesty, I think if I still did eat meat, I feel like I'd probably be overweight. We got the man builder. Oh, yeah, I will be here till noon. I'm very right about that. I still do like sushi. I just have to eat it, you know, it's cucumber, avocado, stuff like that. Dang, thing's freaking stiff. All right, guys, I'm in the home stretch now. We had eczema. That's not fun. How was your day? Well, it is only 9:45 a.m. where we live, so my day has just begun. I did wake up kind of early though, because I went and got breakfast with my grandma, so that was fun. That's probably one of the reasons why it's supposed to take me so long. I literally got, well, I don't know, maybe it's not an excuse, but I got here literally at like 8:45. Normally, I'll get here at like 8 or a little before that, so I have a lot of time to kind of like prep the stream and stuff like that. Think, you know. But today I just had to dive straight into it. Everyone comes in, you're still building the motherboard. They're probably gonna be pretty close to that at this rate. You still fight eczema to this day, have to watch detergents, things like that. You know, I honestly think, I guess the one health issue, I do think that I might have eczema, because I do have like, it's like, check this bad boy out. I don't know if you guys are able to see this. It looks like I'm flicking off the camera, but I promise it's my ring finger. Can you focus, please? Holy shit. I don't know if you guys can see this right now, but like, I get this all the time on my finger where like, it's super itchy. And I'll get it sometimes in like other parts of my hand. I don't really get it anywhere else in my body. But it'll just be like out of nowhere. Like, no poison ivy, and it's during the winter. And I'll randomly just like, my finger will just look horrible. Like, it'll be all red, and like I'll have like blisters almost like I've been touching like poison ivy. That's what it looks like. It's like I've been handling poison ivy. And it'll be like really dry, you know what I mean? Rash apply ointment. Should I put some rash ointment on it? Rash ointment. Use some hemp lotion. Okay. Yeah, I know a lot of guys, especially just like handling like chemicals, and like if you're like a mechanic, you know, I know it's pretty easy to get I guess it's like a form of eczema that's, you know, from outside triggers. Put tallow cream on it, like beef tallow? Try not hot showers, just warm. Use scentless soap like Dove. Okay. That's a good theory too. I do use like some pretty like, I mean, I use decent soap. Like I don't use stuff that has like a ton of ingredients usually. I try to keep it somewhat plain Jane. But it is scented, so. Look at that, that's fun. Ah. You make your own and it works, especially in cuts too. Like you make your own soap. You have, I never heard of that. Is that is it Lux disease, where the iron in your blood turns to lead in your ass? What does that mean? Is that real? Lead in your ass, wow. Surprised nothing happened. Well, no, I mean, when I was a mechanic, I could get like brake cleaner on my hands, oil, diesel fuel, normal fuel, like, I mean, you name it. I've had this stuff in my hands like my whole life, and I've never had issues with like rashes, allergic reactions. I can just go wash my hands, and I mean, heck, I could go to bed with my hands like stained different color from like all the, you know, crap they get on it, and I'd be fine. I guess I'm just getting elderly. One of the things, no, I definitely feel like I've realized, I've heard multiple times that like hot showers are not good for you. And I will say, I usually do my showers like, I would say like, I do like between warm and hot. You know, they're not like super hot. You don't wear gloves and stuff enters your pores. Well, you know, Z, I definitely did wear gloves a lot as a mechanic, but also like a lot of times they'd rip open. My old boss used to actually get like kind of annoyed if I used too many gloves, funny enough. So I try to be good about it, but you know, he's like, "Oh, you're wasting gloves." There was one point where he told me I could only use like, you can use one pair a day, and when you're a mechanic, you probably know that like one pair does not last the whole day. You used to have eczema, but it cleared up once you started taking is it Effexor? Antidepressants, anti-anxiety. Interesting. So I guess you're saying that flare-ups can happen from depression or like anxiety, probably anxiety, I guess. Never really thought about that. which I will say a lot of the whole itchy finger thing that has kind of happened closer to the time that I've been dealing with this crap. So it could be kind of anxiety driven, I guess. It very well could be. 41 starting to fall apart. Oh, I know midnight. But you just got a new PC. Kentucky weather sucks, Rags. My bet. No, that's how. I have so many friends that have like bad allergies and all kinds of issues, and I've always been like the, and now I'm like, I mean I don't know if it's allergies, but yeah, now that I'm 5 months deep into health issue, I'm just like, wow. So this is what it's like. Wow. Yeah, the freaking hot and cold weather has been kind of annoying. Oh, look, this NVMe. Wow, it came with a screwdriver and a heat shield. Or a heat sink. Not heat shield. Which actually, you know what? I'll use the heat shield. See, this is why this build's taking me long, okay? They give me cool stuff. What am I supposed to do, chat? I gotta use the cool stuff that's provided. If I can even get it open. All right, let's put this one on first. So we're gonna put on the heat sink or on the actual NVMe, so we know it's nice and on there. Hold on, chat. I'm really focusing up here. I guess I'll put the bottom one on too. I was worried that it wouldn't fit if I did, but it seems like it will. This thing's getting double heat sinked. Double thermal pad, chat. Oh my gosh, these thermal pads not like to come off easy. All right, look at that. We got a covered heatsink now. She's gonna stay very cool, especially since it's a Gen 3. Really didn't even probably need to do this heatsink, but it looks better. It looks professional. I'll even use the little tiny screwdriver they gave us. And the M.2 screw. Wow. Is this a 3600 and a 580? This is actually a 4500 and a 580. So, the good news is the RX 580, if I remember right, I think is that a Gen 3 by 16 or Gen 3 by 8? But the good news is the 4500 is a Gen 3 CPU, so we don't have to worry about any, weird bottlenecking there. As long as I'm remembering correct. Maybe it is Gen 4 and I'm being crazy. IO shield, there it is. Pantera bread. That's not Panera bread. I do like some Pantera though, so I feel it. Hello. There she goes. Oh yeah, that's a good fitting IO shield. Shout out. Oh, we have an extra standoff. Oh no. No. 9600X, 500 gig SSD, Monster Hunter Wilds for $229 a Newegg. Hey, that's not bad. Yeah, because that $229 is what the normal 7600X was costing for a little bit. It might still actually be. I will say Ryzen's been pretty good recently. Wait, did you get any good news yesterday, Jonah?
No, I haven't got anything. I haven't got
Oh.
anything yet.
What did they just forget about you?
I don't know. Maybe they did.
What kind of news would be good news?
That he's not dying.
Yeah.
I could tell him that.
It'd be great news.
I don't think he's dying.
I don't think you're dying either.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Testosterone might be a little low, but
Okay.
It might be a few hundred points low, but Chaotic said, what did you say, Chaotic, earlier? I was talking about how I was talking about how Jonah's still like young and doesn't really have to worry about like much yet, and then Chaotic said like you know, as long as he changes out like his daily pink bow, he's good to go.
Well, I guess I didn't change out my bow today because I'm.
Yeah, what's going on?
I pulled a muscle in my neck or something. It's really bad.
Which side?
Left side.
which side?
Does rolling help at all? Gentle roll?
It kind of.
Can you roll?
It hurts still. It hurts when I do it.
Honestly, you're probably just gonna. I'm willing to bet you go to bed. We're gonna wake up tomorrow and you're not even gonna feel it.
Jason, what side are you using? This one?
Last
Yes,
night.
the one that's missing one. The other DIY or stream was dead.
It was bad last night. but
Hello.
I went to sleep and I was like, oh, this isn't too bad. And then I got up and moved and I'm like, oh, there it is.
Hi, chat.
I'll tell you what, dude. My freaking I don't know what it is. It's like my rotator cuff, my left arm. I woke up and that's hurt all day so far.
I've been having really stiff like neck and upper back recently. Where's
That's been me.
Ooh,
We're
that
old
might be coat hanger syndrome. You think about how it's the shape of a coat hanger? That's a thing. You might be dying. You're gonna die like right now.
I need an operation. I need a coat hanger transfusion.
Jonah can do at least 5 push-ups. Can you clap?
Jonah can definitely do way more push-ups than I can. Jonah could probably like triple my push-ups.
Can you do like the clap push-ups, Jonah?
Probably can.
Can you make a clap while you do push-ups?
Probably.
Is it Zach or Zag? Zach with a CK.
It's Zach with the G. Zag.
Q. Zach.
Why doesn't Zach have a funny nickname? Kermit? Kermit?
He calls me Beanie.
Yeah, he does call him Beanie, which actually is pretty funny. He was like, during the stream, when we were playing Pico Park and Zach would get like a little mad, he'd be like, why is Beanie so upset?
He needs pretty good.
Yeah. Chill, Beanie.
What case is this?
This is the Cooler Master, I think it's the 301 Lite, 301 Elite Lite. It's not too bad, actually. It's all metal, which is cool.
Someone said you didn't put the cool
Even
fan
the
on.
even the front, yeah, even the front panel's metal.
Oh, I've seen this. Okay, I've seen it.
Yeah, and the light comes with no fan, so it's a nice blank slate. I think I got it for like $47 too.
Looking to getting back into boxing, Zach? Not at all.
He's trying to get his world rocked.
I am getting back into fitness, not the kind Jackson always likes to say.
Fitness. Never mind.
The great Beanie and I got an understanding. We have a peace treaty. He's allowed to call me Beanie.
I like that. The great.
I
Beanie.
permit it. Beanie, Skids, Big Mac, and Sack.
I love Skids, dude. That's just iconic. By the way, Jonah's never shit his pants to my knowledge, but
I have it.
okay.
Why do you think I would?
I don't know. I feel like everyone has like a.
Is this your old power supply?
Mm-hmm. I cleaned
Wow.
it. I mean, everyone has like a story where you've pooped yourself once in your life, right? It's like a baby or something.
I've definitely like, as a grown man, turtled my pants before, but I haven't like expelled anything.
As a man, I've
I love that.
As a man, I've definitely had a.
What is this?
I've had a
close
poop,
defecation
I've had
call.
a poop grace my underwear briefly,
what
then
is this?
come back in.
Is it,
Yeah, it's a
is it
6-pin extension. It was for my 2080 Super.
Yeah.
Never know what you're talking about, so no.
Yeah,
one
it
knows
took an
Jonah's
8 and a
too
6.
swift.
I was complaining to Matt the other day about that, where I was like, dude, why is that a thing? Why do they decide to make some GPUs that take 6 when like they could just add those extra 2
That was
pins?
big on the 20 series.
Oh, 20 series, like every card.
Yeah, the 2070 Super had it.
I think the 2060 a lot of times was a freaking 6-pin, just one 6-pin. Like, what are y'all doing? Just make it an 8, you weirdos.
Everyone's had that one that they thought was a fart and it was wet. Oh, 100%. And then like you're pretty confident that it was still just a fart, but you're like, still, I have to know. And you have to go check.
You got to do a quick brown check.
Zach is spending all his boxing energy keeping the wife happy.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm gonna put this in the PC.
I'm using it to
Stop,
defend
stop.
myself.
from her.
Yeah. She's using my boxing energy to box me. Jonah can change himself after a slippery squirt in record time.
I
Interesting.
didn't know why you all had this much time to come up with this shit. I mean,
When Matt isn't around, Toasty Bros can be themselves. No, I'm just always like this. That's why they don't get me a mic
Jonah,
usually.
what would you do if you got like a tarot card reading and they were just like, "You're gonna shit your pants soon. You're not gonna know
And
when."
then you felt your stomach start hurting.
Oh God.
Chat, I was asked a very interesting question yesterday, and I would like to relay it to you all. So, let's say you're going about your day, right? You wake up in the morning and you see an owl outside your window. You probably think to yourself, like, damn, that's cool. I've
That's
never
an
seen an owl before. Like, that's sick.
I see them on my property sometimes.
You start heading to work and you see another owl. How many times do you see the same owl until you're calling someone out of concern? I told McAllister, I think on the third owl, I'm calling someone. I'm like, listen, I've never seen an owl before, and I've seen 3 owls today. This owl is following me. I think number 4, I'm hiding inside and hoping it's not inside with me.
Damn.
Woo! Woo! There's an owl in here. Woo! I would think the Goblin King is after me.
The Goblin King? Oh
If
no.
I see a third owl, I think I'm gonna die. Okay, 3 seems like a good number. Owls totally follow people, but across town all day, I don't know. Do you work for the government? You trying to tell us owls are normal?
Jonah, if you went, if you were driving here one morning and you saw only Mustangs in the road, how many Mustangs would you see before you were concerned? Like, so imagine, like, you know, every car you normally pass on the way here. Now, you know what would be freaky as hell? Is I bet you probably don't see a, you're not here today.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I thought you would.
You know how like you probably only see a few cars, right, until you get to Blake and Baker, or maybe like the cross. Imagine you see those few Mustangs, and you're kind of like, wow, that's weird. There's a lot of Mustangs, and then you pull up to Blake and Baker, and every single car at the light, it's not on.
this isn't.
Yeah,
Hello.
Imagine you swallowed it and then like
Quit it.
and be like, Zach, why'd you do that to the mic? And then you started gaslighting me.
What did he do? He pushed it in my mouth. I actually swallowed it. I don't know what to do.
we get a sub. Oh, honk button.
Honk
McAllister, you
and
want to
a
honk it?
Yeah. By the
You
way,
wanna give him a honk nut?
I played that game last night. That RPG.
Oh,
we
is
got
it the
sent.
sex one? Or
What?
it's like something 6.
Rivers of Styx?
What's the one that you've been
Song of
playing?
Six.
Song of 6.
No, I didn't respond to your stupid Song of Sex comment. I
always wonder if you actually see my messages and just ignore them, or if you don't get them.
honestly, the only reason I respond to one like that, if you're just teasing. If you said something about, hey, how's the game, blah, 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 or if I have a good comeback. Otherwise, I'm not saying anything. I don't know why. The hair is just ridiculous.
They said, "Dear Lord McAllister."
No, I played a little bit of that game last night. I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about, but it said there's no embargo. So I'm not going to say much, but I will say it is pretty cool.
Oh, you like it?
To give you just an honest state of mind at the time, I recorded about an hour of gameplay because I'm going to make a DIY, so I want to get all my nice footage.
Thank you for doing. They're really gonna like that.
I chose not, like at the beginning, they're like, "Who are you?" And then it's like, they're like, and the guard's like, "You better tell me, or otherwise I'll beat you with my fists again." And there was an option of like, pick these different answers, like I was walking to the woods when you captured me. I was doing this, whatever. And
is it like a game where there's do choices affect like how people treat you?
it's an
and stuff?
RPG so far
Okay.
as it seems.
Okay.
Like right now, it feels like the beginning of Oblivion when you're breaking out of the cell. But he asks you, "Who are you?" Whatever, blah blah. And it's like, pick your class. But there's an option of, "I'm not answering you." And I was like, I want to be obstinate. So I was like, "I'm not answering." He goes, "Then what did I tell you about my fists, prisoner?" And I was like, "All right." And then it makes me pick again, and like it still gave me, "No, dude, I'm really not talking to you." And I was like, I'm just gonna take every annoying option I can. So I hit that, dude. The moment I hit it, like I actually skip one word, like when you actually skip a cutscene.
Yeah.
I actually skip one word, and it just cuts to an arrow goes right through his head, and the guy falls to the floor. And I at the point of taking an edible, and I was ready for like a cool game. And at some point when it just started, it was just like, I'm not telling you. And I felt like really shitty. I was smiling, then he just died right in front of me, and I was like, whoa, what the fuck? I didn't mean to kill you. And the guy handed me the keys. It was like, I'll see you outside. And I was like, I don't know what's happening.
Dang, so you don't even know who you are.
And I have no extra stats. So getting out of that prison was a goddamn hour-long chore. Because it literally took away the chance to get any of the like, I gotta skip the whole "What's your starting class?" I just didn't pick one, and so it
You're
didn't give.
basically playing on hard mode.
And I was like, it was kind of fun. So I would say pretty cool little game. There's pretty metal scenes in there at some point. At one point, I saw two giants that must have been Cyclopses, and someone had carved out their eyes and forced them to do one of those turning wheels. And I was like,
God.
it looked sick. And then also had really cool Latin in the beginning.
Why did that turn you on?
Someone asked what game.
I don't want to say the name yet because I don't know how
The game is
You can
out.
buy it, but it's just
Yeah.
not. This prologue's new.
So the backstory, by the way. No, I think you can at
I
least
guess
say
we
the
didn't
name
sign
of the
anything,
game.
so it's really not. The name is Tainted Grail, Fall of Avalon.
Tainted Grail. But yeah, it was really cool. They one of the, I assume, devs came into our email and basically they're gonna send some really cool stuff that McAllister will eventually do a DIY on, and they also gave some really cool like kind of early access to some new things.
And yeah, I'd say so far it feels like old Skyrim-y. Like it clearly feels like smaller studio, but it doesn't feel like that's an excuse.
Ah,
It almost, if you played any really high quality Elder Scrolls mod, like for like reimagining, like I think you played
Unscrew that.
the other one, the one where like it burns down in the beginning. It's like what's it called? Tales of,
I was talking about the Oblivion.
or the Skyrim one.
Oh, the Skyrim.
That's a Skyrim redo.
which one?
There's like a full.
I think you put me onto it, and I got a bug when I played it.
So did I. Me stop. There's a Skyrim full overhaul mod that it uses the engine but makes a new game,
Oh,
and
okay.
it's free on Steam. You can just go add it to your cart. It's like I forget the name of it, but it feels kind of like that. It feels like a really high quality reworking of Skyrim, and which makes me very happy because I love Skyrim.
Yeah.
But they have a dash mechanic in there that's pretty sick, and it's
Oh, because Skyrim didn't have that, did they?
yeah, and it's honest. I say sick. It's made combat kind of like questionable because it's just I go up and go bop, and then I just dash back 10 feet. And
Ah.
it's, I'm curious how they make it harder, but yeah, no, thank you for that. Is what I'm trying to say. It was just really cool.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that you actually like
The
it.
edible was hitting at the right time, and the game was really cool, and they had some cool voice acting for some of the people.
Nice. Oh.
Toasty Bros, I need your advice. Can I use standalone PCIe cable and the daisy chain one for a 7900 XTX? I have the Seagotep 850Y.
Is Mr. Fury a game?
So one PCIe for some? No, I would not do that. I mean, listen, I'm all about pushing things, but I would not.
zoomed in. What the heck?
I think you said tap the camera button. That always does it, right?
Oh,
When is it?
somebody. I think somebody.
Jono was smacking them all.
This are
Is
really-
the auto AI on? Do the L.
no, it's not on.
Okay.
I think it might be. Is it scaled wrong?
No, it was good for a minute. No, it was going fine.
Sorry, there was some redeemed ones that I don't think I ever hit. All right, Mr. Fury, 49 cents on Steam. I mean, why not? It's only 49 cents. If I said I don't have 49 cents, then I'm in worse trouble than I thought.
I'm not sure why that was up. And it's up, and it's up, and it's up, and it's up.
I definitely have homies who are like, hey, you trying to do this? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And then they're like, all right, cool. And I'm like, you want to do this too? It's like $5 more. And they're like, I don't know, man. And I'm like, it's $5. I'm like,
Something
Yeah.
like a game.
What's the price?
Or are you
of
saying like you just have broke homies?
what's the price of a game where you feel like you can say no because financials? Like you can technically say it at 5. I get it, but I'm always like, brother in Christ, did you stop and get McDonald's fries any day this week? Like, or did you do anything? Like $5 is so quick when you're like, if you get an hour out of it, that's what you spend on an arcade. Like,
or also like for like a K-pop, for example, when we go, it's like $5 extra to have a hot pot. Like if one person does it, we all have to do it. And then like the entire table goes, oh, I don't know, I got $500. I'm just like, it's $5.
yeah.
Act broke to stay rich, brother.
You know, that's true.
What's 20% of $5? Because they're essentially, if they're 20% tipping, they're adding on more than $5.
$1.
So $10 would be 20 cents. So it'd be 50. It'd be
It'd be $2.
$2. So it'd be $1. Cool. Okay. Thank you. Sorry. Had to
See,
get
Zach,
to 10 before you
five
went down.
was okay, but 6, man, I
That's
can't
awesome,
do it.
AC. I want to do more D&D stuff. It's always fun. Anything above 70 is unacceptable. Out of here's the thing. I hate seeing prices of games go up, but like now that it's been 70 for a while, has it finally become normal to you, or does it still feel
feels-
like?
It still feels like if for 70, it better be like a good like AAA game, yeah.
My problem is it's like games used to release to a point where they were done and you played them, or if they're buggy, it was at least kind of part of the fun, like Skyrim, right? And it didn't destroy your game. It
Yeah.
was just like a bug that didn't matter because you're already dead, so flying in the air didn't matter. But
It is weird to think about how like I think about old like all the old Valve
that's
games
sick.
and like
These are Commander.
Skyrim, where it's like, yeah, you accepted bugs because it was normal. Like you couldn't really have a game that didn't have bugs. They were fun. But yeah, now it's like if there's a bug in the game, everybody in the Steam comments are like, this game sucks.
See, I don't care about bugs at all if they're minor ones, but if it's like game breaking,
You live
yeah,
with
I can't be soft locked and I can't be hard locked. That would piss me off.
Stuck in a wall, like characters lose like audio. Dialogue.
You remember when we were playing SCP and you get stuck in the ceiling?
Yes, and I'm like things like that, like game breaking bugs, they're not fun. But if it's like minor bugs where like someone's talking and their mouth is just constantly open and like the audio's coming out, like that's just whatever. Like, that's funny.
So the thing is that yeah, I agree. Now, I'm gonna describe a bug to you, and you tell me how bad it is for the game. 10 being I'm gonna stop playing. 1 being I could care less. Like it might even just be a feature and I don't know it. Let's say infinite loading screens. You paid $70 for the game.
Oh, like where you have to exit out of the game?
Yeah, it's got infinite loading screens.
It depends on how often it's happening, but I would say like
once an hour, randomly.
Oh, 10.
10. You gonna quit the game?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd probably
100%.
be at like a 7.
Let's
if
just
I
say
really like the
for
game.
the sake of it, you like the game. And all these instances, you like them. You don't love them, but you probably just like them because of these bugs.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm assuming that if it's a AAA game, $70, it's probably a bigger game, and I'm just thinking about closing out of it and reloading it. It's probably gonna be like a 5-minute endeavor,
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
like, that's just annoying to me.
God forbid they have one of those automated cutscenes in the beginning. Spartan, you're back. And then it's just you have to hear that because what game's really bad? Conan Exiles has it where if you have mods installed, it has to preload all your mods. If you ever played a Skyrim mod pack, you know how long that can take.
Uh-huh.
It makes you do that while the cutscene plays.
What do you need, Jonah?
It's horrible.
Couple of ties.
They left you for dead. If you said your commander, I missed it.
That's one thing that actually, funny enough, that annoys
wanna
me
see.
about like Wukong is whenever I die from a boss, a lot of the times the bosses don't redo the cutscenes. You just go back and they're there like ready to fight you. Dude, there's some bosses in Wukong where I'm like, I don't know why they chose to do that, where like they have to redo the whole like, you're here, blah blah blah. And I'm like, bro, I've done this 8 times.
Yeah, if they know you're gonna die on it over and over again, that's the ones that shouldn't have it.
Yeah.
But I always wonder if they think, is this one I'm supposed to be able to beat quickly? Like, is it me? Am I the problem that
You
no one
know,
in playtesting
I never thought of it like that.
struggle with it? Because there was a part in the game last night where they wanted me to like listen to a line of dialogue. Like the guy wanted to lore drop on me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they had me while they're lore dropping, they just had me in a like ethereal plane. You know, like when you're playing a game, you actually go through a portal.
Yeah.
And they had me just running around on random platforms that just took a long time to navigate. That
Dude,
was all that they
sometimes
existed for.
those are kind of annoying.
It annoyed me a little bit, but I was just like, thing is, for me, free games, I'm like literally no judgment. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I see what you're doing. I understand. I just think,
And
yeah,
if you're
you
into
would've
the lore,
if you would have cut off the gaps a little bit more, or they had some spectacle pieces out there, but this is 0.9 out of 1.0, so I'm like, I'm definitely not going to judge it as hardly. But if they would have made more like little gaps, I'm like, would I have noticed the jumping more and been more annoyed that they're making me jump, or would I prefer
do you remember
to just run?
Fallout 4 when you're trying to find that one guy that's like can teleport or whatever, and you have to go through his mind, like you kill
Yes,
him and
yes.
then they put the thing and you're like
Kellogg?
it's like Kellogg cereal, but it's like ghost images where you're like seeing his life and it's very vivid and it takes like 20 minutes.
You really have to know this
And-
guy's whole story, and you
Yes.
do not care. You just killed
No.
him, right?
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
killed him. Which I will say, the story does help you, though. I get the concept. Like, you're trying to find where your kid went. So the story does help you, but at the same time, you're like, bro.
You're like, I didn't know this guy was trying to stop, masturbation. Did you know that? Kellogg's himself was trying to stop that.
Masturbation?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Mr.
When's
Kellogg.
the last time you guys bought a game full price?
My lord,
Recently.
Jello shots. You can
Oh,
die.
you Blackmouth, right?
Don't do that.
Yeah,
to
I did
anyone.
Blackmouth,
That's
and
rude.
um,
When's the last time you bought a game full price, McAllister?
Monster Hunter Wilds. All the time.
I pre-ordered Starfield. Paid $7. No, I didn't pre-order it. No,
I'm sorry.
I paid
can't
$70.
remember the last time I paid full price for a game, and I definitely have not pre-ordered a game since I was in like high school.
Okay, you're fucking cool. Sorry.
No, I have companies that I trust, so I'll buy their games full price.
Yeah.
FromSoft, I trust. I'll buy their game full price. I don't care. Capcom, pretty much always. I'll buy their game full price. I don't care. And
Activision,
And the thing is,
always
I
full
don't,
price.
I say risky. Capcom, they make games I like, and they typically support them. It's not like I think they're going to release the banger with no problems.
I feel like if a really good multiplayer game came out and it was very like hyped, I would buy it full price. But single player games, I have a hard time because I'm like, there's no like expiration date on it. Like I can play it whenever, and I have such a big backlog of single player games.
I don't. I've never been a fan of like. Yeah, I think pre-ordering like. So when I said Starfield, I didn't pre-order. I ordered it a few days after it came out, but like I've never really believed in buying single player ahead of time.
I don't know. I'll do it occasionally, only because typically I don't like when they give me like cosmetics in a pre-order or a better gun because I'm afraid like what if I couldn't get that? It's a single player game. Like,
Oh yeah.
Locking me out of content and pre-order bonuses on single player games is stupid. Like we give you 10 more health potions. I'm like, I get that you want the money a little bit sooner, and I don't want it for the benefit, but I'll pre-order it if I'm excited. It lets me feel like I'm on the train before it gets there. I'm like, ooh,
for me,
I get
like,
board first.
For me, if I pre-order,
preloading is
I
really
expect to get free stuff. See, like I don't think you should be allowed to have a game that's pre-order. I say allowed. I just think it's dumb. Like people shouldn't buy a pre-order game if there's no benefit of pre-ordering.
I have a question. Does it change if it's a physical copy versus a digital copy?
Yeah.
Do you feel like pre-ordering physical is like I'm reserving my stock, so like they don't need to offer me a
are
bonus?
you saying like just 10 years ago versus now?
Yeah, because the thing was you had to pre-order if you want to make sure you got the game. You remember going for the cool
Oh
game and
yeah,
it wasn't in store?
No, that makes
hasn't
sense.
happened in years.
That's timed. So like sure, but like I thought you meant like if you pre-order a game now and you know like how sometimes like give you like a record or like
yeah. They give you something.
Yeah, that's what I thought you meant by physical. But no, I don't think pre-ordering physical I can kind of get because what if there was a shortage? What if you're worried? It's digital. Like if it's digital, you're like they're not gonna run out of copies. So like I fully expect if I pre-order a game, they better give me at least it doesn't have to be like game breaking things, but I at least want some skins. I want something cool with it.
Amen.
Pummel Party was the last game I bought full price. Pre-ordered Civ 7, still didn't play full price. Yeah, I don't know. I don't mind paying full price as long as like I think the company's cool or I just want it because the way is, things are only expensive if they're out of budget. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
My way I look at it is spending $70. If I plan to spend $100, really isn't bad. If I didn't have a budget, then $70 is a lot of money. That's almost $100. Yeah. But I already plan my money out.
Like
so
I bought that freaking TF2, that single hat. I paid like $80 for it.
And that's why you're so cool.
And I know it's not cool at all, but it's funny because I'm like, as a kid, I would see one of those unusuals and think like, wow, that person must be rich. And it's like, being an adult and still having like, it's like being an adult with adult money, but having a kid's brain.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. I was at my parents' house yesterday, and I was just crying because I was thinking about money, and I was just like, I was talking to my dad. I'm like, Dad, I don't feel like I'm doing enough. I keep looking at it, and things are only gonna get more expensive, and I just couldn't. I like that. Cass is like, would not want to do her certain thing. I was breaking down, and I was like, I don't know, dude. I'm having like, I feel like a really stressful time.
You're having a crisis.
And he said you're trying to water flowers with a fire hose, and I was like,
oh yeah, well, and I'm sure that I'm sure that hopefully they told you this, and you've been told by other people. Like, you're definitely in a very for your age and like what you make and what you get to do. You're very top, like I would say 5% of the world.
I love, that's very kind, but I was telling Cass yesterday when I got home that I think I finally realized that's, and by the way, I appreciate it, the sentiment's appreciated. I'm going to say something that's going to seem like a little...
No, go for it.
Which is, I hate that comparison. Whenever someone says, but you're better than other people, it's like, okay, well, if your dream was to be an Olympian, and then you got done swimming, and like you're like, how did I do? And they said, oh, you're better than most people out there. It's like, I need to be the best. I'm trying to be an Olympian.
So you want to be like Bezos or like Musk?
I don't want to be Bezos, but my goals require that I be above the curve. I want to be there as soon as possible. Is the problem?
Oh, that's everyone.
And
everyone.
The problem is, I'm thinking, for me, Olympic level is like $3 million in retirement, so that I can do whatever I want until I die and have money left over to do.
Well, I don't know if that makes you feel better or worse, but at least you're not the only one that feels the way. Probably most of the world feels how you do.
I don't know.
I don't know if that makes you feel better or worse, but it's like, to me, that almost feels better because I'm like, okay, I'm not the only one who feels that way. Where I'm like, because sometimes I feel like I'm a dick or like a douche for like thinking with what I have now, and I'm like, I want more, and I'm like, oh, I'm a dick for that, but I'm like, no, I'm really not, because I'm like, I don't really know a lot of people that like, they get a raise, they get to share my money, they go, all right, this is it, it's all I'm ever gonna need, I'm good to go.
Shut up. He's over here saying Malort with Jello honey or royal honey. Now I hear you. I think the difference, the being a dick, is all about how you get the money.
Yeah.
I just.
Mine's pretty ethically sourced,
Imagine being enforced retirement. Is that a thing? Forced retirement?
Forced retirement, I think,
already
is
saving
like
for
if you're like
retirement now.
disabled or basically like you don't really have a choice but to retire.
That's fair, but
Not necessarily that the government is like forcing you.
yeah, I can't imagine because I don't know. The problem is like if you want to spend what I make just this year, I just assume my tastes will go up as I get older.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I should
yeah.
make more money, but I'm afraid that like
Well, especially I know you do eventually want a house. Yeah, it's not gonna be any cheaper than an apartment. I can tell you that much.
you know what I feel like I need to do at this point is I'm almost at the phase where I feel like the only answer is pick a death day. I know that sounds
What?
crazy, but I can't. The problem is I'm like, what if I live to 90? Like only 1 in 4 people do that. I'm like, but what if I do and I don't have enough money to stay in a home? I'm not getting kicked out at 90. Like I can't take that, dude. I can hardly shit by myself. Like I don't know what to do.
Are you saying you're already at that point?
I was telling my dad that he's like, you know, they have insurance for that. I was like, thank you, please. Like
for pooping?
long-term care insurance.
Oh, that should be like shit insurance.
And apparently how it works is interesting. They put into an account and like they invest your money in stocks, right? And they earn whatever you earn, but they clearly taking millions of dollars.
Well, to be fair, that's anywhere. Even your bank, your 401k, your Roth IRA, that's all being used.
Here's what's interesting about it though, is that usually in insurance you don't get any money back, of course, right? With long-term care insurance, they bet against you going to long-term care, and if you do, they give you money back. But if you don't, and you pass away, they will take the initial what you put in. You put in $200 a month. They'll take that they've been investing. They'll give you back the principal, but not the interest. So you get the money back, and then you can give it to your kids or whatever.
Right.
Since you didn't end up going to long-term care, probably saves a lot more money. What's up? Is that Lolo?
Low.
I think Zach wants to ask about what you built here.
Nope, I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, just chilling.
Actually looks pretty nice.
I like
I'm
this
caught
build.
up on shorts.
What's this case? Cooler Master.
This is
okay.
Cooler Master 301 Lite. That's actually you're in a Cooler Master right now in there. That's
do like
the
that one.
flat pack. I know we've only used that case like twice.
Just the fans that came with it. Like,
No, I put these in here. Schmuck.
yeah, our existential crisis when looking at the Roth yesterday.
Yeah, well,
It's
my
like-
dad told me I'm doing okay, and the problem is I was like, I don't know.
actually
People
had
can
the
keep
same
telling me I'm doing all
convo
right.
with My mom and dad
Dude,
yesterday, too.
I cannot tell you all
can't
that
feel
like you guys having 401k and Roth even at your age is like I know you're saying the whole comparison thing.
Yeah, now I know.
It is extremely rare. Like I don't know of a single other friend who has those benefits right now. Unless they're like a doctor or a nurse or
No,
something.
I see. The thing is, I had it at Apple, and I had 7,000, and I pulled it out like an idiot. I
But,
pulled it out.
Magic or something.
Honestly, yeah. No, at the time, I kept thinking, I don't know. I had no goal, but now I can tell you, Cass doesn't necessarily teach me how to save money, but she makes me want to. Like, I love her to death, and I'm like, man, I want to retire.
No,
with
I know
her one
exactly
day.
what you mean. Here.
So
Thank you.
401k
What's up,
is a
chat?
poor investment strategy. I think it's good for a lot of people.
This is the
You know,
finance channel now, chat.
There's no such thing as a poor. I guess there is a poor investment strategy, but I would argue that it's like a good power supply. There are good ones for certain cases. There are bad ones for certain cases. Depends on what you can do and you're willing to do.
The problem is we all have expensive taste here. We all have expensive hobbies. PC gaming's
Speaking
expensive.
of, you want to tell them what you've been into?
And I've been into Pokemon. And
I would do Toasty Finance
oof.
so hard.
Toasty
I could go
Finance
home
is so
crying
good.
every
That'd
day
be
out
cool.
of fear that I'm not going to have
Well,
enough.
it's just things are getting really expensive, and buying it or a house is really expensive.
I told you what a long time ago, what my dad wrote down in his book. I think I say this all the time. My dad had a yearbook from when he was a kid, and like his senior year of college, they all signed
Ahoy.
it, and they asked a bunch of questions. And it was like, hey, what do you think a hamburger costs now? And they're like 25 cents is what he wrote down. And it's like, what do you think it'll cost like in 10 years? And he's like, $1. And he was guessing. And then at the very end, my dad wrote one line, which was, what is life going to be like in the future? And my dad's only word he wrote on like a 3-line thing
Xenos?
was expensive. And I feel that.
It is now $10 for a good hamburger.
Are they saying, is Jackson yelling bye?
Is he saying bye?
I'm not hearing him say bye. So if we suddenly cut out, just know we were trying.
What up, peeps?
trying
What
to help
up?
you.
No, it's crazy. When I had to replace my roof last
It's
year,
just a tulip economy. I don't know it.
when I figured out, like, I don't have a big house or anything,
economies.
and when I figured out a roof is $15,000 for my house size, I'm like, how does anyone do anything?
I don't know, dude. It's like I don't know how long it takes anyone to save $2,000, but I'm just like, the problem is the compounding of like
Yeah.
roof. They'll let you put it out on credit, won't they? I bet they
Yeah,
will.
they will too. Well, they will.
And then you put it on
Well,
credit.
luckily,
I just
insurance
left
paid
this
for
dude.
that
Now,
because I would have been so screwed.
Guy saying, oh, I can't read his name. That color green is so dark. Did you leave and rejoin because your name changed color and now I cannot read it?
Yeah, I'm just like gonna max out all the
closer.
Roths.
Well, you know, that's $2,000 a month. We found that out yesterday. The Big Man 76.
Now that stocks are just
What's
like a
your name?
big
Sorry, couldn't read
meme,
it from
I
afar.
just don't want to play with those anymore. Like if you're not in the meme,
Well,
like
you're
the
in them right now.
news.
401ks in the stocks.
Well, I meant like doing penny stocks or meme stocks or
You're
crypto,
saying, like,
anything high
you mean
risk.
like day trading.
Yeah.
Nonsense. Yeah.
Because I have so many friends that are into that, and I'm like, good luck.
Are we heading out? Let's do a rating.
See ya, y'all.
Bye-bye.